Let's start out with reading and writing. First of all, one of the oldest ways of writing, Braille, of course, blind people read and write Braille, that's one of the ways they can communicate, is with a slate. I have two of them here, and a little stylus, which is nothing more than a little pokey pin. Now, this is how it works. The slate has hinges on it. So you also have to be coordinated, which I am not. You have these little rectangular holes on one side, and you have this metal plate with little indentations on the right, or on your left, excuse me. Now, you probably heard that the Braille alphabet is made up of various combinations of 6 dots. This is how it goes, 6 dots. On the left, there's a column 1, 2, 3, and on the right, there's a column 4, 5, 6. Different combinations of those dots make the letters and numbers and punctuation marks and symbols. For example, remember we label them this way, down the left, 1, 2, 3, down the right, 4, 5, 6. Dot 1 is the letter A. Dots 1 and 2 is the letter B. Dots 1 and 4, horizontal that time, is the letter C, and so forth. So, you would use the little pin to poke the right combination of holes in the paper to make the letters. Now you might be thinking, boy, that sounds really arduous and tedious. Well, it can be, but believe it or not, like just about anything else, if you practice with it, you can get pretty good. I take my paper. Braille paper is usually a little thicker than normal paper, although my wife often does use regular printer paper. You snap this slate on the paper. Now look at this. When you're writing, you're taking the stylus and poking the holes through the paper. It's like me having a piece of glass in front of me and a marking pen, and I'm trying to write something you have to read. So if I write my name, it's backwards B, backwards R, backwards U, backwards C, backwards E. At least to me it is, right? But to you, it's right. So in Braille, you go Hebrew. You write from right to left, so that when you turn the paper around, you read it from left to right. So you have to write everything backwards. If the letter B is dots 1 and 2, you write it backwards, you poke dots 4 and 5. See? So that when you turn it over, you could read it right. So you have to write Braille backwards to the way you read it. Now again, that sounds hard, but once you get used to it, to make those transpositions, it's not that difficult. My wife is quite accomplished with these. They have slates and stylus for many different tasks. This one is for general writing. This one is for labeling, like dymo tape. Do blind people use dymo tape? Yeah, but they poke Braille letters in them instead of printing them. And would you believe it? They also have, see if I can find it here, for my box of goodies. That's one of my biggest problems, is finding stuff. In fact, that's going to be a recurring theme in this workshop. Well, if you've ever visited my office, you'll understand why. There you go. Regular dymo tape? Nope. This baby is Braille. So you go ka-chunk, ka-chunk, and it prints the combinations of those 6 dots. Well, technology marches on. You can't beat a slate and stylus for portability, and there's very little that can go wrong with it. But they eventually came up with a Braille typewriter, the Perkins Brailler. This baby is a classic. My wife and I have 2 of these, thanks to the Exploratorium at ISU, thanks to the Seat Center, I beg your pardon. Thanks to the Seat Center at ISU, they loaned me one of these. And, oh, we have 6 keys. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So different combinations of those will make the letters. For example, put the paper in, and yes, I can do this without looking, I think. And I think I can at least. It's been a while. That's what happens when I get too cocky. There you go. I want somebody's name, if you would, please.
Katrina.
Okay, that's...
K-A-T-R.
Okay, let's see if I get this right. K A T R I N A. It's been a while, that's why I had to pause and think. Sure easier than it's late to start with, Katrina. There you go. Oh, there's your name. I didn't put a capitalization symbol before it, but if you put a .6 before a letter, that means whatever the letter is that follows the .6 should be capitalized. So that's how they handle capital letters. Well, of course, you can use a computer to generate Braille as well. But you need to print it out once in a while. So they have Braille printers. Listen. Full power available. Yeah. Well, yeah, it gives us voice commands. Have you ever had a printer problem and had to navigate those weird visual menus with the up and down arrow keys on the printer? Well, you can do the same thing audibly here with this printer. It'll actually talk you through the process. Now, as Braille printers go, they call them embossers. They're usually much heavier and noisier than this. In fact, sometimes blind people who work at, let's say, a legal office or something like that, they often have to put the Braille embosser in a different room because they make enough noise to wake the dead. I mean, these things are terribly noisy because you're actually poking holes in very thick paper really rapidly. So it makes a lot of noise. This is one of the quieter models, though. Thanks to my wife for letting me borrow that.